Hello everybody, 99 Days. How's everybody today? Full day today, full day. I thought I had this thing all in the can, but apparently I didn't push record. So yeah, there's that. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do it again. I know it's a little late, it's supper time and whatnot. But anyway, here's what I was going to say to you earlier. Two narcissists, a brainworm, and a woman walk into the White House. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think? There was the time when Elon walked into Trump's office when he was in power before, and he was sucking up really good because he wanted a few more perks for his EV company and a few other things. And Trump basically said, and he even put it on Truth, and he said that Elon was sucking so hard that I could have told him to get down on his knees and he would have done it. Guess what? Elon needs a few more favors. He's just dusting off the knee pads, that's all. He needs more favors again. Now, although as disgusting as it is, having the mango moose knuckle soil both his pull-ups and the Oval Office, he will be in a position to put in a good word with other world leaders for old Elon. He's got the whole hand there as far as she goes. They're buddies. But anyway, yeah, Trump will have the power to put in the good word now. The one thing that I'm worried about with Elon being in the position of cutting and stuff like that, and this one scares me. This is the one with his communication satellite that he says he's letting Ukraine use. Do you remember the early parts of the war there? There was about 8 hours when there was no communication. That's when him and Putin were talking really well. My opinion. So I really wonder what Elon and Putin chat about. It's their pillow talk like. Kind of another point to ponder, I suppose. But remember, Elon may have lived in Canada for a time, but he's a dyed-in-the-wool apartheid cheerleader. That's what he is. On his social media X, he doesn't just enable the trolls. Hell no. He personally endorses everything they say. So I guess you can take the boy away from apartheid, but you can't take the apartheid out of the boy, so to speak. He's done a lot of stuff, that boy. He's charged with sexual harassment on board one of his planes, too, once upon a time, but that's a story for another day. Birds of a feather here. We're getting a theme, right? And then there's the brainworm. Sweet suffering Jesus, what next, right? Now, Trump said, I'm going to let him go wild on health. That should take you back a bit. Now, this guy will radically alter the Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Agriculture policies where it comes to food. He's going to ban fluoride in tap water, so your kids' teeth will be full of cavities. Because everybody can afford dentists these days, right? Dentists are pretty expensive. Unless you're in Canada. Because starting next year, it's not just seniors. It'll be children up to age 18 that'll get free dental. Unless, of course, the conservatives get in. And our little mini moose knuckle will change that. And he wants to ban pharmaceutical advertising. Doesn't want people to know what's out there. He doesn't want people to know what the side effects are. And he wants access to federal data so he can pull vaccines that he deems unsafe. Like Dr. Kennedy. Yeah. So he can pull vaccines that he deems unsafe. But sure. let's put your health and safety in the hands of the guy that cut the head off a beached whale, strapped it to his car, drove it home with his kids in the car for 5 hours with all these fluids flying off of this whale for 5 hours. His kids were in the car and watched him take a chainsaw and cut the head off of a whale because he thinks his kids should know about science. But apparently he doesn't give two shits about science. Or what about that poor bear cub that was hit by a car on a highway that he put in the back of his car because he thought it would be cool to skin it and eat it while he was taking a carload of friends falconing in upstate New York? They spent all day doing that with this bear cub in the back of the car. Then he had to rush to New York for a dinner with friends that ran late, and then he realized he had to be at the airport. So he said, I had to go to the airport and the bear was still in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in my car because that would be that would have been bad. You think? And he added, there's just a little bit of redneck in me. Because he wants to eat roadkill? That's what he's referring to. So oh Lord. He said, and I quote, I wasn't drinking, of course, but the people with me were, and they thought it was a good idea. So we went and we did that. And then to make it look like an accident, he pulled into Central Park in New York because there's so many bears there, and an old bicycle that somebody had to get rid of for him. Put the bike by the bear cub in Central Park because there's so many bears there, and left it there. Now that was like 10 years ago. Unfortunately, this story gets worse because just when that story first sparked up again, the reporter in the New York Times was his cousin. Yes, she was a Schlossberg. And she goes, when I wrote this story, I had no idea of the origins or the people involved. It was her first cousin. Yeah, it gets worse, right? Yeah, she writes this big story. It ends up in the New York Times. And it's her family member, RFK Kennedy Jr. They already knew he was nuts. And this is the same guy whose wife unlifed herself after she read his detailed diaries of 37 affairs that he had with different women. Detailed to every finite detail. He wrote them in a journal, and his wife found them. Yeah. So he said, I had to go to the airport. I wasn't drinking, but of course my friends were, and they thought this was a good idea, so we went and did that. And then we all thought, wouldn't it be amusing for whoever found it? Amusing? Who's amused at finding a poor dead bear cub? It was like 6 months old, or if that 4 months old or something. It was only 44 pounds. Who would be amused at finding a dead bear cub? That would make me sad. But no, apparently people that hang out with him thought it would be amusing. So yeah, there's that. And did I mention that a worm ate part of his brain? Oh, Lord. Now, Susie Wiles is the woman in this joke. The more normal one of his cabinet so far, it would appear. She rose from being Trump's 2016 Florida campaign director to his 2024 senior advisor. In the early parts of the campaign this year, she was Ron DeSantis' campaign manager for president. But that didn't work out too well. They had a falling out. So she went back to the Florida campaign to see if she could help out there. And she was so good at the organization and stuff. Because you remember, Ron DeSantis there wasn't going to be governor. He had really bad ratings. And she got him governor, but it was only like 32,000 votes. But that was her that got her in. That got him in, rather. Yeah. So this chick is organized. She knows what she's doing. And she said that she would keep the clown car out of the White House. I'm thinking, oh, chick, you're good. But I don't think you're that good. She ran an updated media campaign, making sure that he did all the friggin' insane friggin' podcasts and stuff all over the place. Rogan and all those guys. She said all those, set him on all those different things. That weird kid that likes to smell seats after people have been sitting there for a while. He likes to go over and sniff the seats. That bought him that friggin' car and the Rolex and all that stuff. That's sucking up for money, that's for sure. If that isn't a quid pro quo, I don't know what is. But she was smart to get him on all those things because these guys have millions of friggin' viewers. That's where all those young men came in that didn't vote for Kamala. So she's not a stupid woman. But she has earned the respect of Republicans because she's tough and she's smart. She's everything Trump isn't. She has control. He does not. Two not so great things about her is she is a complete Washington outsider. She's never worked in federal politics before other than getting campaigns done. And she's camera shy. She doesn't like to talk. Even when she was told that she had the job, Trump said, here, say a few words. And she was like, You can't be behind the scenes and do that job. You can't. So she'll have to get over that real quick. You know, guys like Johnny McEntee that thinks he's going to get in there, he was the little tattletale in Trump's last campaign. And anybody said anything, he'd go run and tell people. Yeah, little tattletale. That's what he is. She was the one responsible for DeSatan. She took him from 0 to 100 for governor. But she couldn't have pissed her off because she used everything that she had on DeSatan during the campaign. When she went to Trump, she let them all know how much of an idiot and how much of a weird feckin' guy he really is. Yeah, so that's how Trump got rid of him. But DeSatan couldn't wait to get on his knees and come crawling back. She has worked for Ronald Reagan. She's worked for Jeb Bush, Mitt Romney, all the so-called good Republicans that don't even exist anymore. Anything they believed is long gone now. It's long gone. And she'll be long gone too, because as soon as she tells the mango moose knuckle, oh no, you can't do that. That's against law. You can't do that. It's going to be, didn't know her that well. We had to get rid of her. She was the worst ever. Wait for it, Miss Susie Wiles. Better check your neck there. There's a block waiting for you somewhere, just saying. He'll get rid of you, and he will piss on your grave. I'm just saying. So anyway, that's my wee rant. I know it went over, but I hope you had some fun listening to it. I love you so much. Please be good to you first so you can be good to somebody else. We need all the goodness coming that we can give and get. So take care of you. I love you so much. Just please be careful out there. And if you see something, say something because it's going to get rough. Just saying. I love you. I love you all.